Good morning to everyone. So next we are going to see about third unit. So the topic of third unit is communication and collaboration models. CSCW issues and theory. All computer systems have group impact, not just group wear. So ignoring this leads to the failure of systems. Look at several levels, minute to large scale context. So there are four type of communication collaboration models are there. First is face-to-face communication, conversation, text-based communication, and group working. First, face-to-face communication, most primitive and most suitable form of communication, often seen as the paradigm for computer mediated communication. So it involves speech, hearing, body language, and eye gaze. A person has to familiar with existing norms to learn a new norm. Another factor is the another factor is the proposal space. This varies based on the context, environment, and uh, diversity and culture. The above factor comes into picture when there is a video conferencing between two individuals from different background. The factor of eye gaze is important during a video conference as the camera are usually mounted away from the monitor and it is important to have eye contact during a conversation. So back channel is the help giving the listener some clues or more information about the conversation. The role of interpretation like whom and are very important as they can be used by participants in a conversation to claim the term. So transfer effects carry expectation into electronic media, sometimes with disastrous results, may interpret failure as a redness of colleagues. For example, personal space. Video may destroy mutual impression of distance. Happily, the glass wall effect helps eye contact. So to convey interest and establish social presence. Video may spoil direct eye contact, but poor quality video better than audio only. Gesture and body language. Much of our communication is through our bodies. Gesture is nothing but eye gaze, used for detect reference. Head and shoulders video losses this. So close focus for eye contact or wide focus for body language. So this is gesture and body language. So nothing but gesture and body language means when you are having interact with others, how your eye gaze is how your eye gaze is interact with others, where you are looking, how you are looking, all this coming in the gesture and body language. When we are directly in contact with one person, they may know what is your body language and everything is when you are communicate with through online they may not know what you are doing there and what is your real feeling is there, whether you are really interested with interact with that person or for a sake they are interacting with you like that everything is going on. So this is gesture and body language. So next, back channels. So not just the word, back check channel responses from brain at 1 and 2. So listen, Allison is the one person, brain is the second. Do you fancy that film? The green or starts a light, great. Like that, they are having some conversation among them. So this is not just the words; they are expressing their emotions here. Okay. So the in back channel include a node and grimaces, and actually the back channel includes nods and grimace, shrugs of the shoulders, grunts and raised eyebrows. So like in video conferencing and all, we can see these kind of back channel words. Utterance begins with wow, then sparpen up just enough. So in back channels, media effects, restricting media, restricting back channel. So here, video, audio, off duplex, and text based. So when you are taking as a video, loss of body language. So I already said that when you are having video conferencing or any video calls, there may be a for chance to loss of body language. We don't know what is the body language of that person. Really, they are interested with to communicate with us or not, like that. Loss of body language. Next, audio, loss of facial expression. When we are having only audio conversation, even we cannot see their faces. So this is called loss of facial expressions. What they are giving expression when you are just telling some news, really they are interested or they are sad. We don't know when we are having a audio conversation. Next, half duplex, last most voice back sorry, most voice back channel responses. So this is half duplex. Here, voice also we are missing sometimes. Next, text based, nothing left. In text, we don't have any audio or video, whatever. We don't have any. That's why we are calling it as nothing left. Next, back channel and turn talking. So in a meeting, speakers offers the flow. Listener requires the floor. That means everybody having a chance to interact with others. Sometimes in some kind of meeting, only one person will interact with others. Others are simplicity. So not like that here. They are giving some turn talking. Turn talking means everybody having a turn to talk with each other. So that's why they are called as speakers offers the floor and listeners request the floor. Floor is nothing but chance to speak out. So next here there are grants like that sounds can be used by the listener to claim the floor and speakers to hold the floor. But often to often too quiet for off duplex channels. Example, trans conditional conferences, special problem, a lag can exceeds the turn talking gap, leads to a monologue. Basic conversation structure. So actually the conversation structure is nothing but suppose in that conversation if you are having two person, well, first one person is the speaker, another one is the listener. Next, the listener going to speak and the speaker going to listen, like that. Alternately, they will speak and listen. So this is a basic conversation structure. Next, adjacency pairs. This is a simplest structure adjacency pair. Like already said that one, if you are having two persons, one may speak, another may listen. Next time, the speaker goes to listener and listener goes to speaker. Like that, they are exchanging the tones. So, for example, in this, here we are having Brain and Allison. First, Brain will talk. So that is called X. When you are when listener in Y mode, and after that, B will go to Y mode, A go to Z mode, and B go to Z mode, A go to X mode. So this like adjacency pair. So inner pairs often for clarification, but try analyzing the first transition in detail. Next, context in conversation. So up to now we see face-to-face communication. Next, conversation. So conversation is nothing but transcripts can be used as a heavily annotated conversation structure, but still lacks the back channel information. Another structure is of turn talking. This can be interpreted as adjacency bias. For example, AX, BX, AY, BY, like that. I already said in previous slide. And content varies according to the conversation. The focus of the context can also varies. This means that it is difficult to keep track of context using the adjacency pair. Breakdown during conversation is often a case and can be noticed by analyzing the transcripts. Reaching a common ground or grounding is very essential to understand the shared context. Speech check theory is based on the statement and its proportional meaning. A state diagram of the above can be constructed considering these aspects as illustrative points in the diagram. This is called conversation of for action. So context is utterance are highly ambiguous. We use context to disambiguity. Two type of context: external context and internal context. External context reference to the environment. For example, brains that the thing pointed to. Internal context, the reference to previous conversation. That is, Allison's that the last thing spoken of. Referring to things. Often contextual utterance involve indexes that this, he, she, it. This may be used for internal or external context. Also, descriptive phrases may be used external. The corner post is leading a bit. Internal, the post you mentioned in face-to-face conversation can point. Common ground. Resolving context depends on meaning. Participants must share meaning. So much have shared knowledge. Conversation constantly negotiates meaning, a process called grounding. Each utterance is assumed to be relevant and helpful. Further, the relevant means the further the current topic, helpful is comprehensible to listeners. Focus to topic. Next, we need to in conversation we need to focus uh, on topic. Okay, so tracing topic is one way to analyze conversation. Breakdown. Breakdown happens at all levels. Topics, inductions, gesture. Breakdown are frequent, but redundancy make detection easy. People very good at repair. Electronic media may lose some redundancy. Breakdown more severe. Speech act theory. A specific form of conversation analysis. Utterance characteristics by what they do. They are acts. For example, I'm hungry. Proportional meaning hunger. Intended effect get me some food. Basic conversation of the illusory point. Promises, request, declarations. Speech act need not be spoken. For example, silent silence often interpreted as acceptance, patterns of facts, and coordinator. Generic patterns of acts can be identified. Conversation for action regards as central, basic for a groupware tool coordinator, structured email system. Users must fit within a CFA. That means a conversation for action structure, not liked by users. Conversation for action. So here we are having a conversation structure and how they are getting action. So for example, A and B is there, how they are giving request and giving promise or asset, decline, like that every processor, conversation processor available here. Here the circle represents the states in the conversation. Aux represents the utterance, that means speech acts. Next, text-based communication, most common media for asynchronous group where exception voicemail, answer phones, familiar medium similar to paper letter, but electronic text may act as speech substitute. Type of electronic text: discrete, directed messages, no structure, linear messages added, non-linear hypertext linkages, spatial two-dimensional arrangement. In addition, linkage may exist to other artifacts. Problem with the text: no facial expression or no body language. Big back channels, so difficult to convey. Here, affective state, happy or sad. Here we cannot show our emotions to others when we are having a text-based communication. So this is an example of a text-based communication. Next, grounding constraints. Establishing common ground depends on grounding constraints. So contemporality, uh, simultaneity, and sequence, often weaker in the text-based communication. For example, loss of sequence in linear text. Next, loss of sequence. There is no sequence. That means here when we are having a proper communication through audio or video, we can have some sequence, but in text we cannot have any sequence. Once they are giving a message, then only we can go with the another through we can convey with the other message what we are having our side. Next, maintaining context, non-linear conversation. So this is the example for non-linear conversation. Next on the next phase and granularity. Uh, Pace of conversation, the rate of turn talking, face to face, telephone, or email. Face to face conversation is highly interactive. Initial utterance is vague, feedback given cause for comprehension. So lower pace, less feedback and less interactive. So this is about the communication and collaboration. So remaining things we will see in next class. Thank you.